Okay, Andy. Good morning, everyone. Online students, can you hear my voice? Say Sano to me once. Right. Right. Yesterday's program was, sir, finally by yesterday, whatever the web browser, here's some user available. Servlet is taking the request, and yesterday JSP is giving the response. JSP giving the response. Request and response. So this is yesterday's program. Okay, right. So when we are forwarding the control to JSP yesterday. JSP has implicit names. One is config, one is request, one is response, one is out. After typing 2, 3 programs, again, few clarities will come. Need not worry. Among that, request and response is reused. I made a diagram. And you can access the data directly. I made a statement. Now, today's class is this one should be increased, no, sir. Day by day, application should be increased. If you observe the first application, only one servlet is there, taking request, giving response. Second one, choice servlet taking request, forwarding the request to addition servlet or average servlet. They are giving the response. Second one. Third one, yesterday, servlet is taking request, forwarding to JSP. JSP is giving the response. Means according to your web application, JSP only response. Okay, right. Now this application architecture must be increased. So whenever I want to increase this architecture, definitely I must take the support of database now. Sir, I want to database. I said no. Database independent people. By default, you took Oracle. Part of your course curriculum, you took Oracle. Sir, I went to Oracle trainer. I trained myself. Database definition, database architecture, DBMS introduction, creating table, insert data, retrieve data, update data, delete data, linking to or more tables by using primary key, foreign key, candidate key, views, joins, triggers, I think, and how to run one nested query. These are all database related actions you have been performed. Then PLSQL, if anybody completed PLSQL. If you don't have PLSQL also, now you need not worry because Java developers options only that all. Okay, right. Anyway, you know one product, you have to update in your resume also. Databases, I must know. I know Oracle, write the version also. Right? I know Oracle. In bracket, you write version Oracle 12, Oracle 11, Oracle 21, something you write some version in your resume and keep it. From there, what you know, if somebody asked, I know queries, I know triggers, joins, views, something, whatever you know, you speak in that, leave it. Whenever you want to connect this database using Java program, that is JDBC, we take it. Java database connectivity. Some API is there, JDBC API, which provides connection, statement, prepare statement, callable. Some components are available. I know how to use that components. I'll take the support of thin driver and I know the driver component, Oracle dot JDBC dot driver dot Oracle. Like this, you know some knowledge how to interact or how to establish communication between Java program and DB product. You know database. You know how to establish communication to Java program to database. Today, servlet is there no? Okay, right. So today, I want to introduce one layer known as DAO. I'm introducing one layer known as DAO, Data Access Object Layer, where this is interacting with the database. Means according to Java web application developments, in your applications, we are going to maintain one separate layer known as DAO. Write it. Define DAO. Yesterday's application executed. Raise your hands. How many of you done? JSP, right? Any error is coming in JSP, report to me once. Any errors are coming in JSP typing. Okay, right. Define DAO. DAO stands for data access object. DAO stands for data access object, and which is separate layer in web application, separate layer in web application holding database related code, database related codes. DAO stands for data access object, and which is separate layer in web application holding database related codes, which means in bracket database related logics, or you can say persistent logics. You can say persistent logics means database related logics. Right. This DAO layer here, this DAO layer will hold database connection logic, database insert, retrieve, update, delete. You are having 5 operations. No, what are that 5 operations? Create, insert, retrieve, update, delete. Whatever you do, you do that only. So these are all things we write in separate layer known as a DAO. We write it, make it. This DAO layer will hold. This DAO layer will hold the following database related codes. Creation, nothing but create. You can write, no, create logic is there. Insert logic is there. Select, nothing but retrieve. RETRIEV. Retrieve means to select. Update. And delete. So all these operations are performed through DAO. Now, so all these logics will come under DAO logics only. Okay, right. DAO stands for what now? Data access object. The meaning of this statement is servlet will be there, JSP will be there. Database logic you must not write in servlet. Remember it. According to real time. Normally you can write, that is Java program only you can write, but don't write. Real time rules are there, no project rules will be there. That only MVC. According to MVC rules, in servlet you must not write database logic. Separate class you have to take and write it. Separate class for connection, separate class for creation. That all comes under DAO layer, separate layer. Servlet separate, JSP separate, DAO separate. So database related, all will be separate. The reason, when the project changed the database, without changing your JSP and servlet, you can change only DAO. That is the advantage. They'll maintain one separate layer known as a DAO. Okay, right. Now, when the data are coming out, DAOs are logics only. When the data is coming out, you have to keep the data into some objects. That objects, we call it as bean objects. Now the introduction comes to bean. So we had one object known as bean. Bean object is entering. So one bean object will be there here. Make it FAQ. Define bean class. Define bean class. Define bean class. The class which is generated. The class which is constructed with the following rules. The class which is constructed with the following rules. The class which is constructed with the following rules is known as bean class. Is known as bean class. Rule number one. Rule number one. The class must be implemented from java.io.serializable interface. The class must be implemented from java.io.serializable interface. That's the first rule. What is serializable? If anybody completed in core Java, serializable means serializable interface is there means serialization process is performed. Even you've seen this serializable in your hierarchy of servlet. Have you observed? Generic servlet implemented from serializable. Still, I not given a notes to you. Okay, right. Who completed core Java? Who not completed? If you don't also, no problem. Because I only will give the notes on serialization. Who completed? I'm speaking to them. Serializable interface will support serialization. Serialization means you can convert your object into 0 and 1. You can convert stream. You can convert your object into stream. Sir, why we must convert object into stream? Because the stream can be moved on the network. Whenever you want to move the object on the network, object will not move on the network. Streams only can move. Because of this reason, they given an option to object-oriented programmer. If you want to move your object on the network, first you have to convert your object into stream and move it. The process of converting object into stream, we call it as serialization. So object generated from bean class is serializable object, means the bean object can move on the network. It can travel on the network and come. That's called bean object. Nature. If you are not understanding this statement, also need not worry. In the conclusions, we write serializations. Okay, right. The class must be implemented from java.io.serializable interface. That is rule one. So rule two. The variables declared within the class must be private variables. Must be private variables. The variables declared within the class must be private variables. Must be private variables. So what is the nature of a private variable? Suppose if we declare one variable inside the class as a private, the private variable is used by the methods available in the same class. If any methods available in the same class, That methods only can use that private variable. Other methods cannot use that private variable. That's the concept. So the variables declared within the class must be private variables. Rule number 3. The class must be declared with zero argument constructor. Zero argument constructor, or you can say zero parameter constructor. Zero argument constructor, or you can say zero parameter constructor. The class must be declared with one constructor without parameters. That's called zero argument constructor, or you can say zero parameter constructor. You can say zero argument constructor, or you can say zero parameter constructor. You can say. Now, rule 4. The class must be declared with getter and setter methods. The class must be declared with getter and setter methods. The class must be declared with getter and setter methods. You know getter methods, no? The methods which are used to get the data from the objects. Setter methods means the methods which are used to set the data or load the data to object. We call it as setter methods. If a class constructed with these 4 rules, you can call it as bean class. The class must be implemented from serializable interface. The variables declared within the class must be private variables. The class must be declared with zero argument constructor or zero parameter constructor, you can say. And the class must be declared with getter and setter. All of you understood these 4 rules? When you go for Spring trainer will introduce Spring Bean. He will introduce. On that day, he will write what is the difference between Java Bean and Spring Bean, he will write. Or Servlet Bean and Spring Bean, he will write. On that day, if a trainer asks what are the rules to construct Java Bean or Servlet Bean, you say these 4 rules. Then he will write Spring Bean. In interview, you have a question. What is the difference between Spring Bean and Servlet Bean or Java Bean? You can say. Now, these Bean classes will generate Bean objects. Make a statement. These Bean classes will generate Bean objects. Bean objects. These Bean classes will generate Bean objects. Now look here. What that database actions means, actually the data will come to servlet actually. If the servlet want to send the data to database, from DAO, it has to run any one logic, insert or something. But it will not send the data to DAO directly. It will send the data through beans actually. So the beans will be interacting with this DAOs. The objects are interacting with DAOs and the DAOs will be interacting with them. But this beans will be under the control of servlet. DAOs will be under the control of servlet. Servlet only. Without servlet, they cannot do the actions. So servlet only will be controlling them. Servlet has one nature. I will control JSP, I'll control bean, I'll control DAO. So servlet has that power because it is taking the request. No, based on this request only, remaining actions will be performed. Remaining actions will be performed. Suppose more number of beans are coming. Bean means object only. To hold that beans, to hold multiple objects, nothing but. According to core Java, you have array. Arrays are introduced into core Java to hold objects, not values, according to core Java. But drawback of array, size problem. If I took one size of array as some 10, suddenly 20 objects generated means array index out of bound. Exception may come. Because of this reason, in real time, we never use arrays. Arrays not there for you. Only in core Java, interview point of only array. In applicative point of view, we never use arrays. Arrays not there. We never use array. 0.001% only we use. Not 1% also. 0.001% only array. The reason for you, data are runtime. We don't know how much data will come in the internet world. You cannot believe that array. So if you are preparing array means that array preparation only for interview point of view, that is also core Java interview only. After core Java, arrays is 0.001%. Here only proof is there. All your data are runtime data. Array cannot withstand. Because of this reason, the other given collection and map. Other given the collection framework or not now. Collection framework first advantage is unlimited data. Size limit not available for collection framework. Because of this reason, collection framework is popular. If more number of objects are coming, I'll take the support of Java collection framework object. I will take Java collection framework objects. I will take these objects also. You can control through DAO on demand. They can use it. They can interact with them. Even this also will be under the control of servlet. Without a servlet, you cannot do the action. So with the servlet knowledge on it, will do. Means what? Now in the next program, I am bringing these three. All of understood what I'm going to do now, right? I'm going to bring beans. I'm going to bring DAOs. I'm going to bring Java collection framework. Already I brought a servlet and JSP. So application level increasing or not now, right? So I'm going to bring this layer out in the coming application. What I'm going to type now, I'm going to construct. This is the application I'm going to construct. Okay, right. Make a statement down. Note. These bean classes will generate bean objects. Second point you write. These bean objects will hold data going on to database product. These bean objects will hold data going on to database product and will hold data coming from database product. These bean objects will hold data going on to database product and will hold data coming from database product. Now you draw this diagram. I'll give a time to you because what we are going to do, you must know for today. So today we are going to do this application. Right, draw it. Have you observed here? JSP is not interacting with bin, not interacting with the DAO, not interacting with JSP, but JSP will interact if a servlet gives the permission, unless JSP will not do any action on them. If a servlet gives the permission, then JSP can access. Draw this diagram bit neatly, remember it, speak in the interview. What are the layers it contains? JCF means what? Java collection framework object, nothing but group of objects. My intention. Somewhere you keep that JCF, Java collection framework. You write it in your diagram and keep it. Right. Now the application is going to be increased. Okay, right. Can I start it? Right. Look here. Always stop the Tomcat server. So always cross check whether your Tomcat server is stopped or not. Then you take one application here. Already opened, I think. Right. Okay. Now, so first one is servlet giving the response. Second one is request dispatcher. Third one is JSP response. Fourth one, I'm concentrating on DAO layer indirectly. So I'll take one small application, means level increases, small level, and you should understand also, because next level will be session track, login, logout. So that application increases. Once you understood that, over. Okay, right. Now I'm entering into application servlet 4. I'm entering dynamic web project. Click on file, new dynamic web project, application servlet 4. I'm concentrating on DAO layer. I'll make it as employee details. I'll make it. I'm taking it as employee details. I'm taking. Click on finish. Right. Always you are adding one jar file, no? Right. Servlet API. Right click, build path, configure, build path, library, class path, add external jars, servlet API, apply, apply and close. Today, one new point. Today, application is going to interact with the database. You are going to interact with the database. Okay, right. Whenever you want to interact with the database in JDBC programs, you added the jar file, no? OJDBC 6.jar. It is waiting in one temporary folder. We remember that one you have to bring it. Right. So where I should bring it means in your application, here SRC is there, no? Right. In this SRC main, under web app daily or typing, click it. Can you see WebINF? Right. Click it. Can you see library? In this library, you have to paste it. DB jar file must be copied to lib folder of WebINF. Copied. Don't use build path. Copy, paste here. See, I'm doing. Temporary folder on desktop. DB jar. Already asked you to keep the temporary folder, no? From here. Copy. Can you see here copy? Right. Copy. Come here to here. Here lib is there, no? Right. Right click on lib and paste. Now the jar file is copied here. Copy, paste. Write that statement here. Note. In the process of establishing communication between servlet program and database product. In the process of establishing communication between servlet program and database product, the DB jar file, must be copied, must be copied into, lib folder, of WebINF, lib folder of WebINF. In the process of establishing communication between servlet program and database product, the DB jar file must be copied into lib folder of WebINF. Copy. Don't use build path. Build path only for servlet API.jar. This you have to copy paste. This process you have to follow. If you don't follow this process, class not found exception will come. If not, one null pointer exception will come. Null pointer exception or class not found exception you can be raised. Now, I am taking one application name. I am taking. I took employee details. Of course, I named it as servlet app something, but here employee details. Employee details. In this application, I am taking one database table. I am taking. This application needs one database table. Some employee 61. Employee 61. Right. In employee 61, we are going to take employee ID, employee name, employee designation. Here, basic salary, HRA, DA, and total salary. Employee ID, employee name, employee designation, basic salary, HRA, DA, and total salary. Okay, right. Hope this table is available, I think. I don't know. Now make it create table. At last database is entering into your servlet. Okay, right. Create table, employee 61, table name, EID, varchar 2 of 10, employee name, varchar 2 of 15, employee designation, varchar 2 of 10, basic salary, number of some 10, HRA, number of 10 comma 2, float, DA, number of 10 comma 2, total salary, number of 10 comma 2, primary key of employee ID, like this. Employee ID, employee name, employee designation, basic salary, HRA, DA, total salary, and so on. Let me cross check employee 61 available or not. SQL command line, connect and tiger. Now, some employee 61. For me, table not available. If table is there for you, drop the table and recreate. Drop the table and recreate. Okay, right? Because that is only for JDBC practice. You drop it out. Now, newly you are practicing servlet, no? Right. Okay, I'm creating the table. So commit. So table created. Table created. So EID, E name, E designation, basic salary, HRA, DA, total salary. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fields are there. Contact, address. You have to listen this program very carefully from me. And you should understand also. Program running not important. Through this program, I'm educating few logics and ways. That concept you have to catch from me. and you have to increase the level of this project. Small thing, you have to increase it and come contact address. I'll give assignments to you. You must increase and come. One basic part I'll construct and I'll give to you, base part. From there, who will understand, you can construct and come. Not understanding, question mark only. There is different issue. But if you understand, you can construct. Okay, right. Now this is the table ready for us. Okay, right. Now, always layout is important for us. One layout, diagrammatical form. So let us concentrate on database first. Okay, right. Let us concentrate on DAO first. Okay, right. Now in this application, Java resources I had. Under Java resources, I'm taking some SRC. Under SRC, I'm taking one package. Always I'll take it as a test. I'll take it. Under test package, I'm taking one class as not class, one interface I'm taking. DB info, one interface I'm taking. One interface I'm taking as DB info. What is the nature of interface? Sir, the variables which are declared within the interface are automatically static, automatically final. Okay, right. So I am taking some variables here. Sir, they are automatically public, they are automatically static, automatically final. String DB URL I am taking. Do you remember DB URL? Right. Say the DB URL. JDBC colon Oracle colon thin colon at the rate of local host colon 1521 colon XC. This is DB URL. Until you go to Spring, you must remember your Spring trainer will use Spring data or Spring JDBC. On that day, he will ask what you used. You put this here, he will say. Until then, you should remember that. Okay, right? Spellings JDBC colon, Oracle colon, tin colon, at the rate of local host colon, 1521 colon, XE or ORCL. One variable I took in the interface. So public, static, final, string. I need username, no? Right. Username of my database is system. I need password. Public, static, final, and string. That is password I am taking. Password is my password. They change it to Tiger. Like this, I kept it. Sir, why you took separately? The reason, when the database changed, this only I can open it. I can change the 3 lines. Without touching the project, I can do this. The concept of MVC in the real-time scenario, whenever any enhancement happens, any changes occurred in the project, major code must not be affected. That's the target. Major codes must not be affected. That only modularity concept. Small pieces will divide your project and write it. The advantage, if any modification occurred in one piece, other things will not be affected. If database changed, I formatted my database and recreated. This one I can change username, password. 2 lines I can change. If my product age changer means this URL I can change. Understood is fine, all right? If it is a MySQL or any other, that URL, username, password, I can change it. Like this, minimum changes is possible if you make this separate component here. After this one, DB info dot Java. Holding your database details are there. Okay, right. Now I am constructing one more class. For connection, I am constructing. Right click on test, new, one class. one class known as always I'll use in my applications. DB connection means database connection code I'm taking. I'm taking one database connection code. Means database connection I'm going to do here. Okay, right. So whenever you are doing one database connection, import java.sql because we are working with database, no SQL. Now here I will take one variable I will take. The variable is connection con is equal to null I will take. If you don't write null also, that is null only. The variable which is declared outside the methods not there, no. Right. That variable's default values will come. So null value. But take this variable as a private. You take it. Variable as a static. I'm taking this variable as private variable. I'm taking this variable as a static. Private means this variable is used inside this class only. If any method is there, the method will use this variable. Outside people cannot use this. That's the meaning of it. Now, I am taking one static block. I am taking one static block. I am taking. Do you remember static block in core Java? Right. 4 basic components in core Java. One is variable, one is method, one is constructor, one is block. This 4 will be there. Variables are data holders. They hold some data. Leave that variable. Remaining 3 are there. Method, constructor, block. Constructor is nothing but method only, but having the same name of the class. But constructor comes under method category only. Only difference is method will have different name. Constructor will have class name. That's only difference. So constructor comes under method category. So total how many are there? Method, block. Only 2 will be there. What is the difference between method and block? Method means we have to call for execution. Blocks means we never call. It only will run automatically. It only will run automatically. All of it clear about this statement? It only will run automatically. These blocks are 2 types. Static block and instance block. One in the class level, one in the object level. Other given 2 options to you. Now we are taking the class level block, that is static block. What is the behavior of static block now? Static block executes only once. How many times the static block will run? Only once. Static block executes only once with the highest priority. If any components are there, all that components who is having highest priority means static block only. Static block executes only once with the highest priority when the class is used for execution for the first time. When the first time execution control tries to execute that class, then static block will run. All of you understood this statement, right? This is static block today. Inside, I am writing one try catch. I am writing. Sir, can we write try catch in the static block? You can write. You can write it. No problem. So here, exception E. Here you can write system dot out dot println E dot to string. Whenever I write system dot out println, the answer will come to your sorry, console. Console means what? Tomcat server is running not down. There the output will come. If any disturbance occur, you can see the output on the Tomcat server window. You can see because I written system dot out println. I can see any disturbance you can resolve from there. Okay, right. Inside this, Inside this, I am writing connection con is equal to here. Don't write connection con. I forget it. First, you have to load the driver, no? Right. Class dot for name. What is the for name syntax now? Varakil dot driver dot 1 minute. Varakil dot JDBC dot driver dot Varakil driver. In your JDBC, always we used this syntax. Load the driver, create a connection. Now, driver manager dot get connection. Here we are using db info dot db URL db info dot username db info dot password. Now that is a connection. Now, what are the variables available in the database information? We are using this. We are creating connection. These two lines will run only once because it is inside the static block. These two lines will run how many times now? Only once. Whatever the object creation, the reference will be available on the con. This reference will be available on the con. Yes or no? Na? This reference will be copied onto con. Static block will run only once. So end of block. Now look here. When the class is used for the first time, static block will run, connection created, the connection object reference available here. But this is private and static. They will not go outside. Private means will not go outside. Now you have to write one method here. Public static return type is connection get con one method. This method return return con. Right. Now I took one method known as get con method. Get con method return type is connection. This get con method is returning the con, means getting that con outside. All have understood this pattern, right? So here three static components I used. Static variable will be there. Static block will be there. Static method. Static constructor available or not available? Static constructor in Java available or not available? Not available. We cannot declare one constructor as a static. Error will come. So I took three components in the static. Now look here. DB connection class holding three static components, one variable. Through static block, we are creating connection. The connection must happen only once. And whenever you want to use the connection, we use this method and call this connection. Means we use the connection by using this method. All of you understood this class? Again, I'll draw the diagram in the flow. So this is DB connection pattern. This pattern you have to follow in your company also. Whenever you want to establish database connection, this is the process. After DB connection completed, DB connection completed, I am using employee bean. I am creating bean object. Employee bean I am using. I am creating one bean object I am creating. Again, I'll draw the layout. In the layout, clarity will come. Okay, right. I am creating three components I am creating. Employee bean I am writing. Employee bean means to hold employee details. The bean object will hold data or not now? Employee details. Now I am taking employee bean. See there. Right click on test, new, new, one class. I am taking employee bean. I am taking. What are the bean rules here? What is the first rule of bean class? Sir, the bean class must be implements from serializable 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 will come from java.io. What are the variables you are declaring inside the bean? Must be private. Yes or no? Right. Employee bean is going to hold employee details. According to this diagram, I'll submit the employee details from the browser. Now Servlet will take that employee details and load it onto bean. When I load it onto bean now, what are the details coming to Servlet? They should go to bean. How many variables must be there in the bean? Sir, how much data you are submitting from HTML form? How much data you are going to load it onto database table? That much of variables you must declare in the bean class. What should be declared now? ID, name, designation, right? Basic salary, HRA, DA, total salary. So these many variables must be here. So here variables are private string, employee ID, employee name, employee designation, private. So int, basic salary, private, float, HRA, DA, and total salary. Means what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How many are available here? That many. Okay, right. This is the first rule. Implements from serializable. Variables must be private. What is the third one now? Sir, this class must be declared with one zero argument constructor. One empty constructor you must write. After that, the class must be declared with getter and setter method. What is the rule of getter and setter now? Sir, every variable will have its own getter method. Every variable will have its own setter method. There are 7 variables, 7 into 2, 14 methods should come. You cannot write 14 methods, no? Then Eclipse give an option to you. What is the option now? Sir, right click here. Source is there now. Generate getter and setter. Select all. Click on finish or generate. 14 methods will be generated. This is bean class. If you want to remove this warning, you can write it as suppress. So this is bean class. So 3 classes I constructed. One is employee bean to hold employee details. DB connection to establish a connection. Database related information in DB info. All of it clear, right? Now remaining all I'll do by tomorrow because it is a non-stop process. One time we must write. We must not give a break. One time only. Means what? Employee should come and employee should load. One time process, one time layout only. One time it should be completed. All of understood, right? But unfortunate, tomorrow I may not be available. I am not available also. I'll conduct online. Understood this point? All right. Because by Saturday I should end this program. I'll do one work. Actually, I'm in leave for tomorrow, I think. So if I'm not available also, I'll conduct in online. I started no anyway. I'll be drawing, I'll be typing. You can watch it no. Yes or no, na? Louder I want. Because Friday, Saturday, I should complete this. Monday, I can start session track, the target. So one day also important no for us. So what I'll do is already I started already. Layout I not started. So you can watch if anybody is offline people, online people, they are already, for them habit is there. They can see in the mobile phone, they can sleep and listen it, I think. For them, practice is there, online students. For you, practice will not be there, no, by seeing in a mobile phone. So that you see the diagram and I'll be typing. The typing only I'll do. After coming back on Saturday offline is there. When I coming back, I'll repeat it. I don't want to waste that time, but tomorrow I'm conducting online. Got it right? Hope, right? Okay. I'll keep the message within 10 minutes tomorrow online. If I don't keep a message, offline only. Okay, right. So take a break. Because I not started the layout, have observed me? Because if I start the layout, I must complete. But biggest program, what I'm going to do means add employee, view employees. I'm going to do. Add employee, view employees. Two options I'm going to do. Tomorrow I'll do add employee. Friday, Saturday I'll do view employees I'll do. So that one complete form will come to you. Great. Take a break for today. Thank you very much for today.
అంటే ఆల్రెడీ ఎగ్జిక్యూటివ్ ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ కూడా తెలుసు.
ది రేట్ ఆఫ్ వెబ్ సబ్లెట్ ఉంది కదా అలా యుఆర్ఎల్ సరిగ్గా రాయలేదు.
అంటే ఆల్రెడీ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అయింది సార్ ప్రీవియస్లీ. అది ఎగ్జిక్యూట్
ఒకదాంట్లో నామ్కాట్ సబ్ అప్లికేషన్ యాడ్ చేయలేదు కదా, ఎక్లిప్స్ యాడ్ చేసి ఎక్లిప్స్ ఒకటి రన్ అవ్వకుండా మీ దాని యుఆర్ఎల్ ప్యాటర్న్స్ క్రాచ్ చేయండి, కరెక్ట్ ఉంటే వచ్చేస్తుంది.
సార్ జేసీ ఫైల్ యాడ్ చేస్తుంటే ఎర్రర్ వస్తుంది స్టార్టింగ్.
ప్రోగ్రామ్ వస్తుంది కదా,
ప్రోగ్రామ్ వస్తుంది, జేఎస్ వస్తుంది. అంటే జేఎస్పీ ఫైల్ లోనే యాడ్ చేస్తుంటే ఎర్రర్ వస్తుంది. కాలేదు సార్, మామూలుగా హెచ్డిఎంఎల్ అది వస్తుంది సార్ అవుట్పుట్. జేఎస్పీ స్టార్టింగ్ లోనే ఎర్రర్ చూపిస్తుంది.
ఎర్రర్ చూపించిన అవుట్పుట్ వస్తుందా?
ఎర్రర్ చూపించిన అవుట్పుట్. ఓకే సార్, నేను రన్ చేయలేదు సార్, ఎర్రర్ వచ్చిందని ఆఫీస్.
ఎర్రర్ వచ్చినా ఆన్సర్ రిటర్న్ అవ్వట్లేదు కానీ ఆన్సర్ వచ్చింది.
ఓకే సార్, ఓకే సార్, థ్యాంక్ యూ.
So the projects, the database connections are like will be timed out very frequently, sir. So and they use the parameters. So this program that we showed today, will it hold it or in the real time? Just trying to. So database connection will be automatically timed out like 10 minutes due to transaction logs, etc. etc.
I think cannot must update first.
Advanced Java.
Spring transaction.
So on when this the management, would you recommend us to go step by step, like go the Spring first or Spring Boot?
You want to become a good knowledge? Rani. Spring, first Spring, then Spring. Knowledge pointer.
Yes, sir. But the management is starting at 10th told us that. But they are pushing us to go Spring Boot. I've seen some students in the where
Spring back not with a local Spring. Knowledge pointer. Of course.
they will be recommended. That is very, if they
The batch not led by your own.
Thank you.
కానీ వెళ్తాను వాటర్ ఎగ్జాస్ట్ చేయలేదు మర్చిపోయినా కార్తీక మాట్లాడలేదు